Year 7 of 2005, that was absolutely fantastic. I have not had to raise my voice at all.
It's induction day for Year 7s in waiting at the Castle School Thornbury near Bristol. It has a large intake, 270 pupils divided into 10 forms. There are children from 41 different feeder primaries, some sending 46 and others just 1 or 2. Since an Ofsted statement in 2002 flagged up transition as a long-standing weakness of our education system, schools have been trying out new ways to ease children through this period of their education. Castle School is no exception, and we've come here to examine 3 of them. How the school creates opportunities for Year 6 pupils to talk to other pupils about what it's really like in secondary school.
If you do get bullied, which is very, very, very unlikely, here are a few tips on how to beat them.
How each child is visited by a head of Year 7, giving them advice and reassurance.
Everybody is valued, everybody's got their place. We have to make sure that everybody is mixed up so we don't just have one class.
And to see a pilot scheme in action, which enables a small group of children to step out and really get to know the new school.
I have to say, those interviews were really good.
Pastoral care during transition phases are always important because the more a child is contented and happy and feels secure, the better they're going to learn.
Most heads of Year 7 visit their feeder primaries, but what marks Sue Hill out is that she makes sure she sees every single child coming to her school.
At Castle School, we try and work straight away from the minute we know that they're coming here to prepare them for the transition. We'll be going into primary schools. I feel that every child has the right to get to know me, so I visit all of them. When they come, they're very vulnerable. There's one face at least that they recognise. It will tell you the name of your tutor group, and it will ask you to do 3 things. It will ask you to wear your St Mary's uniform, it will ask you to bring a packed lunch and a drink, and it will ask you to bring something to write with. So that's enough from me. There's too much for you to take in all at once. But one thing that I want to say is that I want you to know that your tutors are there for you to talk to. I'm there for you to talk to. And I know a lot of you will get anxious because it's new. It's the biggest change you ever make.
This is St Andrew's Cromwell. This is one of our smallest schools, and 4 pupils are coming from St Andrew's to us in September. It's a village school. It takes in from a rural community. The children will be travelling a long way to come to us. They've been in a very sheltered, small environment, and then they're going to come to a school where there's 1,750 students. It's going to be quite a shock for them.
Well, I think one of the boys is excellent at sport. And I think because he's
teachers recognise that there's more to just SAT predicted grades on paper, which is officially, their SATs are officially all that we get apart from children with special needs. The teachers know that whatever they can give me is for the good of the child, and it is informal. It will never be printed in a form that other people can recognise, so that they can tell me anything that will help me to know that child and to be able to recognise a problem if it surfaces when they're here. Every Year 6 teacher wants the best for their children when they come to us, and will tell us what we need to know to try and make that transition successful.
Because I take tablets every morning.
And what time do you take them?
As soon as I get into school, which is...
Does somebody have to supervise you taking them?
Yeah.
Who supervises you here taking them?
There are some issues we've got to be watching. There may be very sensitive things that we've got to be aware of. There may be health issues that we've got to pass on to teachers. So I will always give the teachers of those children the positives. I will give them as much information as I can, any health things that they need to know, anything that is okay for general knowledge. There may be more sensitive issues that I will divulge to tutors and ask them to be aware of, and there may be some things that I will only share with other people as and when it's necessary.
Castle School are also involved in a pilot initiative called Stepping Out. A small group of Year 6 children who may find transition particularly challenging have been identified to participate in the scheme.
like all the tales.
It has been devised by Gareth Davis from the Behavioural Support Unit, based in South Gloucestershire.
We're going to introduce ourselves, but you also have to introduce everybody who's gone before you. Hi everybody, my name's Gareth. This Stepping Out is a pilot project. We've never done it before. Castle said, yeah, great, let's go for it. And they have identified the primary schools that we're working with.
Hi everybody, this is Gareth, this is Hannah and I'm Emma.
Hello everybody, this is Gareth, this is Hannah, this is Emma and my name's Kate.
Hi everybody, this is Gareth, this is Hannah, this is Emma, this is Kate and I'm Greg.
As part of the scheme, the 4 pupils from Crossways Primary meet up with various members of staff from Castle School.
That's it.
And also with some current Year 7s who offer up tips on how to survive secondary school.
There's definitely, you feel that the castle is bigger, so it's a bit intimidating when you come up, but you'll get used to it within a few days. It won't even take you a week to find your way around.
I was very upset when I left, but once you get up here, it's not as bad as you first imagine.
I told you at the beginning that the Crossways pupils are going to be doing a presentation for all the people in their class. You can't be there, sadly. I think that one of the key parts of this project is developing their confidence. As they grow in their own knowledge of the secondary school and what they've picked up, we've designed it as a sort of a research project. So rather than stigmatising people by saying, oh, there's something wrong with you because you're going to find it difficult, that's not the point of it. We're trying to make them the experts in Castle School, so that when they do this presentation to their peers, they then become a resource for their friends, and that builds them up, that makes them feel important, that makes them feel that they've got something to offer to everybody else, and so that has to be a very positive thing for them. On my camera, I can do some very short little video clips, and I wondered if each of you might think of one useful thing to say to all the Year 6 pupils.
Hi, my name's Harry and my word of advice to all you people
would be do your homework when you get it, because otherwise you'll end up with piles.
My top tip is for bullying, just don't provoke them and you'll be fine.
If you've got a lot of work, don't stress about it. Just relax and eventually you'll work into it and you'll find your own routine.
All this work culminates with the Stepping Out reporters giving a presentation to their peers at Crossways Primary.
Who here will be going in September to secondary school? I think it's a very difficult thing to measure what impact you have on anybody. We have a formal tool, which is a questionnaire. They do a baseline assessment when they start the programme, and I ask them a number of questions about their feelings and what they're thinking about different things. And when they complete this part of the programme, which is today, they'll do a completion assessment.
Be kind and fair to each other, look out for each other.
Let's listen to each other.
I think time will be the ultimate test, and you have to remember that this is just the start of a project. We're starting to work with these pupils. When they get into Year 7, we'll continue to work with them. And I suppose the real test will be if during Year 7 they don't have any problems, then that'll be fantastic.
And you get to choose what you eat, and sometimes it's healthy and sometimes it's not.
In addition to their Stepping Out programme, another of Castle School's transition initiatives is to involve their Year 7s in going back to their old primary schools to deliver a presentation and question and answer session on life in secondary school.
And the presentation incorporates all the things that they feel the Year 6 pupils will want to know about life at the Castle School from a child's perspective.
Rachel, what's it like changing your teacher every lesson?
It's quite good because then you won't, if you're annoying the teacher, you won't have to come back and get even annoyed, which means you just kind of go to different classrooms and you'll have teachers that you like and sometimes teachers that you don't like.
The thing is that a lot of Year 6 pupils have lots of sort of worries about coming up to secondary school, which are actually unfounded. And all they need is for someone to go and tell them, actually, no, it's not like that. The main one being bullying. They all think they're going to get their heads flushed down the toilet when they come to secondary school.
If you do get bullied, which is very, very, very unlikely, here are a few tips on how to beat them. Always tell the teacher or an adult. And if your friend's being bullied, stick up for them, because it's a bad experience for you getting bullied, but if you know that your friend's getting bullied and you don't do anything about it, that's even worse.
And the hope is that these children have been to the same primary school that they're going back to, so the Year 6 children will hopefully recognise them and be able to take their word as gospel. And it's far more effective a way of transmitting information than if, for example, I went in and I don't actually know the children, they don't know me, I'm a teacher, I'm an older person, what would I know, that kind of thing.
I think the best bits were when they asked the questions, because they were some good questions and they provoked lots of good answers.
What are the school dinners like?
They sell things like flapjacks and
Muffins and pizza baguettes. That's so nice. And cookies and stuff like that. So. But there's normally a giant queue. So.
I reckon we could have done a bit more on teachers though, because we only had the head teacher already, and we have at least over 100 teachers, so we should have done more on the teachers, I think.
Especially the head of year as well, because she plays quite an important part, because they'll be seeing her quite often.
No more so than on induction day. Having already benefited from presentations and information given to them prior to transition, the latest recruits to Castle School finally get the chance to find out for themselves just what it's like at secondary school.
Well done, Mr. Lawland.
Sue Hill, head of Year 7, having already visited all the feeder schools, is somebody everyone recognises.
Around thinking, where are my friends? Some of them haven't arrived yet. Don't worry, I will wait in the hall when you've gone off with your tutor, and I will bring anybody who arrives after you've left to their tutor group. Now, well, on induction day, there's going to be 275 children looking for me. I'm the only person that they recognise, so red is usually the colour of the day. Either in a top, shoes, whatever, so that they can spot Mrs. Hill. I think the aim of the day is to survive a day at the big school and go home happy. But if you've got through the day and you've not seen any tears and you've not had a child brought to you because they've been misbehaving, it means that most of them have taken on board about the cooperation and helping each other, and you don't get tired, you just keep going and you enjoy it.
We were kind of with our friends and we felt special because we were being helped to not feel really scared, and we felt really, we were safe really, and it really helped.
Yeah, and you got to go there, so you sort of got a taste of what everything would be doing. You didn't get to see the lessons, but you got to see the school in itself, and I think that was really, really helpful.
It was kind of freaky when I was getting on the bus to come here, but now it's like cool.
Yeah, it's really good now. Don't feel worried one bit. It's really enjoyable actually.
And the fact that they've done that successfully and they've enjoyed it, they've had some fun activities, they've got to know some children that they didn't know before, and most importantly, they've had 2 hours with the person who's going to be their tutor, who they will be the closest member of staff that they're with, then I think that that's a sense of achievement. We want every child to go home feeling that it wasn't such a traumatic experience being in that big place for the day, and they've actually gone home and enjoyed it.